Judges and prosecutors in states like California and Virginia have given defendants a choice of either joining the military or going to jail, and some have actually joined the service. Corporate sponsoring of sports teams is common in school these days. Corporate sponsoring of class curriculums, however, is not. For some pharmacists, supporting such legislation, also known as cautious clauses, has nothing to do with religious or moral convictions. For them, it's about being able to exercise their professional judgment in cases where patients can misuse drugs without understanding the full consequences to their health. In the classroom, Spanish is taught from scratch, but in the streets, a much more conversational Spanish may be more practical. The problem is that could take up to 1.5 years before you even get at that level. There could be religious reasons for the reluctance as well. Most Hispanics are Catholic, and many associate HIV as a homosexual disease. So tattoos aren't nearly as big of a taboo as they once were in the past. You can find them at all levels of mainstream society. If you've been thinking about getting inked, here are some things you may want to consider before rushing into any parlor.
Ashley Weber is like many 21-year-olds. She works, exercises, and drinks with her friends. But drinking has gotten her into some trouble. Ashley is facing her second DWI charge.
I'm young and stupid, and I made mistakes, and I was trying to clean myself up. I hadn't gotten a ticket in 2.5 years. And the thing is here, if you have a DWI and they run your tags, 2 o'clock in the morning, you get pulled over and you've had 2 beers, guess what? You're over the legal limit.
If convicted, Ashley faces losing her license for the next 5 years, fines, expensive traffic offender programs, and a breathalyzer in her car once her license is reinstated.
And if you get caught driving while your license is revoked 3 times, it's a felony, and you're looking at jail time.
Ashley decided joining the military would be a good way to avoid the conviction.
The idea is we go to the judge and say, hey, I want to enlist, but I can't because I have this pending. So you have to dismiss these charges or I can't enlist.
Judges and prosecutors in states like California and Virginia have given defendants a choice of either joining the military or going to jail, and some have actually joined the service.
Under the table, I would almost tell you every state does it. I mean, you know, everybody should get a second chance. I mean, have I broken the law? Oh yeah. Have I been caught? No. Have you broken the law? I'd say you have.
Prosecutors here in Springfield, however, do not necessarily agree that is always the case.
There are certain people who just don't belong in the military. And when you get an individual that comes into the courtroom and says, I would like to join the military, if you'll dismiss these charges, you know, looking back on their prior criminal history and their current problems, I don't think they're military material anyway.
The prosecutor's office also feels there are other factors.
Another reason why we don't do it is because there's no agreement with the military that if the case is dismissed that they will go. Their name isn't on the dotted line with the military.
The military understands the risk involved.
But there's nothing we can do about it. If the courts drop the charges so they can join the military and they don't join the military, hey, that's the court's deal.
Ashley's hopeful the Greene County prosecutor will grant her a second chance, one the military is already willing to give her. For Missouri State News, I'm Sophia Mitchell.